Goes out to our current channel members. If you were interested in picking up a channel membership for as little as $1.99 a month, head over to my channel profile and hit the join button to view all of the available perks. Thanks! The first Spinjitzu master is arguably the most influential and important character in all of Ninjago. After moving to the realm of Ninjago after some disagreements in the first realm, he created the land itself within Ninjago and the story goes on from there. However, despite all of that, and also the fact that we have learnt quite a fair amount about him since, I for one have always been left with one massive question. Just how strong is the first Spinjitzu master? Like, actually, how strong is he? It's a question we have had indirect hints towards, but we have never known the true answer to this. This is precisely why today, in this video, I want to go over this idea a little bit more, expand on this, and attempt to come up with an actual answer to this big question. If you're familiar with any sort of power scaling videos on YouTube, this one definitely won't be similar to any of those, as, well, simply we don't have much information on the first Spinjitzu master's true capabilities. I don't want to sound like I'm overlooking this and I'm just kind of overshadowing everything and acting like he's not strong at all, but I mean, we know nothing about specific abilities because he has never had an on-screen battle or anything of the sort. So ultimately, you're left with a few different main pillars that holds this entire thing up. Number 1, he created Ninjago. This one is super vague, and that sentence alone doesn't exactly hold much weight anymore, as in Seabound, things were changed a little as it was then updated and retconned almost, and it was said that he didn't actually create Ninjago as such, as in the entire realm itself, but instead, he created the land inside of the realm. So essentially, to put things more simply, he moved to Ninjago, the realm itself was all still normal and fine, he didn't create the realm or have any part in creating it, but instead he came to this place where presumably it was all ocean, and he then decided to create some land inside of it, which on its own is still an incredible thing to do for a Ninjago character. It simply just isn't as impressive as building a whole realm from scratch. I do also believe that the ability he used to create the land in Ninjago can be linked back to Golden Power. Remember the time Lloyd was trying to move mountains with Garmadon back in Season 3? My hypothesis is that the first Spinjitzu master used some super next level golden power to actually create the land, and so it's essentially a massive, huge extension of what Lloyd was trying to do in Rebooted. This hasn't actually been confirmed in any way, it is just a small hypothesis on my end, and it helps to put everything here into perspective. The thing with him having crazy, overpowered golden power though, is the fact that if it was much more powerful than the time Lloyd had access to it specifically, why didn't he defeat the Overlord with flying colours? The Spinjitzu master and the Overlord have been said to be equal in the past, so the scaling here does definitely get a little bit wonky, but ultimately maybe I'm just getting way too in depth and I should be a little more shallow with all of this overall. Even aside from that though, the first Spinjitzu master did literally create the Forbidden Scrolls of Spinjitzu, extremely powerful scrolls that are basically so powerful that to the average person, they can corrupt your mind and make you turn evil pretty much, which is another spectacular achievement he has under his belt. I'm not using this as official basing around how powerful he may or may not be, as technically it isn't canon, but on a live stream recently, Tommy Andreasen did hint at the fact that perhaps he created his own children, so there was no mother involved or anything like that. Garmadon and Wu were created essentially out of his own will entirely, which is crazy to think about. But again, as I say, not canon, so we technically can't count it, but it is definitely just something to think about. There are, of course, other things to note though, like for example the fact that the golden weapons were literally created by him, which is another insanely big accomplishment. He brought the rule of Wajira to an end and even defeated the Overlord. Unfortunately, this is basically all of the main information we currently have on the first Spinjitzu master that is relevant to try and fathom an answer out of this, and while we are definitely not starving for more things to know about him necessarily as fans, I wouldn't say that we know all of the correct information that is needed to come up with a big, conclusive, solid answer to the question of, how strong is he? With that being said, I do have a solid answer, and this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out on this one. I believe that as of right now, he is the strongest character within Ninjago. This will also sound crazy, but I think there is just one other person that beats him, and that is Nadokhan with his infinite wishes only. Not base level Nadokhan without the infinite wishes, but that is an insanely controversial topic for another time, but not too shabby for a LEGO character. While it is definitely very unfortunate that we don't have specific battle information surrounding the FSM, I think we do know the bare bones amount of stuff needed to at least try and fathom a reasonable answer as to how strong he is. Put simply, yeah, he's insanely strong. When you think about everything he has done and has created, I wouldn't say that anybody else really does come close to him apart from a Jin with infinite wishes, as I say, which really does say a lot. So the next time you think about Lloyd, Wu, Garmadon, or anybody else, just think about the fact that the first Spinjitzu master likely exceeds all of their powers by around 100 times. He runs laps around them all, which is pretty insane. It would be fantastic to see a full animated fight scene between him and the Overlord. With all of this being said, I believe that is just about going to cover it for this topic. This one was all over the place, but I was expecting that, as tackling this particular question is no easy task at all. I hope you did all still manage to enjoy it though. Feel free to leave any thoughts and additions to what I've brought up here in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you did enjoy it, then please do leave a like on it, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you can be the first to watch my new videos whenever I do first release them. With this all being said, thanks for watching and I will see you all soon.